So, good evening, this is Virtual Pub Project, How Do Beer Engines Work, Part 2. I am in the rubbish dumpings part of our cellar. It's where we store all sorts of things like juices, leftover bottles, and quite a lot of our games and things when they're not in use in the main bar. And in here is a very magical place called our beer cellar. The doors are shut because all the cooling units are on in there, and it gets quite loud in there. So let's go on in, and I can explain to you how beer engines in the more way that you're probably used to work. So the way this works is, obviously we've got the taps out on the bar, which is over that way, and the beer gets piped from there through here, from this room here. So a big cooler on the wall there, keeping this area cold, because it's just basically, it's like a big fridge, it stops your beer going off. So these are the machines here that allow us to pump our beer from the barrels, which are all down here, into your pint glass out on the bar. So, how does this work? Well, over here we have our gas bottles. So we run on two different types of gas here at the arcade. We have CO2, which is in this one, which is standard carbon dioxide, and a 3070 mixed gas, which is this one over here. And there's also places that use 4060 as well. Just different types of gas and different types of beer products. Some products go off and react differently to different gases, so you've got to put the right gas in there. So, one of these goes onto your beer barrel. Goes on these little bits here. Now this has a combination of two things in it. One, the clear pipe, which takes the beer from the barrel to the bar, and the grey pipe, which takes the CO2 or the 3070 gas to your barrel. Put that on there. Yeah. Obviously we pre-planned all of this. So how does the system entirely work? Well, we take gas from the canisters, run it through here, which then pumps it into the barrel, pushes it into the top of the barrel, and pressurizes it. Now, these central spindles here compress in when you've got your barrel connected, and the beer comes back out through that way. So, ring around the outside, push gas in, beer comes out through the centre. There's actually a big pipe that goes all the way down to the bottom of the barrel, and you're forcing it out. So like we saw in the Draft Masters where they were squeezing the beer out, this is the same sort of logic, just you're putting gas into the top, and as that compressed gas expands in the top there, it forces the beer back out. And it goes through all this, and then comes over here to this wonderful bit of kit. Now this is known as a beer python. What it effectively is a big vat of water and antifreeze that gets really cold. So all through here you'll be able to see these pipes. Those go all the way through to our main bar. Now they'll have, some of them will have obviously the beer in, which has been cold, but some of them will also have that super cold icy water basically, that keeps the beer cold when it's in the lines on the way to the pub, which means that first thing in the morning, when you've had it sat in there overnight, it hasn't gone warm in its journey to the bar. And all this is literally just a big old vat of water. And that's the easiest way to show you. Big old icy water in there. Beer goes through it a few times and comes out nice and cold. And that is the actual temperature that the beer is sort of sat in here at. So that's the temperature you'll be drinking when you get your really nice cold pint, which on a nice hot summer's day like today is very much wanted. So hopefully lockdown finishes, this lovely little beaut will give you some gorgeous cold beer. That is the very basic idea of how all these sorts of things work. They're obviously a lot more complicated. Like I say in all my videos, what I give you is a very brief bit of knowledge of how these things work. Obviously, if you really are that interested, either pop us a line or just Google search, really. But yeah, that's a basic sort of knowledge of how the various beer dispensers we have here at the arcade, and no doubt other pubs around the UK have, to distribute their beer with. So that's that for now. Patreon link if you'd like to support us whilst we are closed.
all sorts of various things on there. Deliveroo if you'd like to order some food and booze from us. This phone number means you can order directly from me. Ring it, you come through to us, or just message us on our Facebook page. We have a driver who can deliver food and things now. And of course, here is the good old trusty Just Give page if you'd like to help us in our ambition to raise £250 for the National Health Service Charities Together Trust. So, with no further ado, thank you very much. See you tomorrow.